All right, folks, this is my third video today talking about labs. I haven't in the past created things like this, but maybe as kind of a primer to get you going in the labs, maybe this is useful. So when you're doing the heart lab, right? So your heart should come, not your heart, a heart should come in a bag, right, like this, and these are Kerasafe. So these are safe to, when you're finished with them, you put them in the trash, no big deal, right? So you'll just open these up. Again, be careful with scalpels. You don't want to cut yourself. One of the hardest things to deal with these hearts is figuring out where some of the parts are, right? Because they kind of all come smushed, right? And that doesn't really look like. One of the easiest ways, though, to figure out where you're at in a heart is the apex, right? So the apex is the point of the heart. If you'll just kind of obviously follow the directions in your PDF, but to help you locate yourself, if you just cut a small portion of the apex off, you'll see a cavity start to form, right? That cavity will lead to the left side of the heart, always. The left side is the more muscular side, and so you'll notice, and even in the piece that I cut off, you'll see there's a little cavity starting to form there. And so if I remove even a bigger piece, right, then you can really start to see that cavity start to open up. And then with maybe a pair of scissors, you could just follow that cavity up and figure out the difference between the left side and the right side. And then that makes all of the stuff up top make that much more sense to you. So actually, I like to use scissors more. I like to use scissors more than I do scalpels. Scalpels can get you in trouble, most because you can cut yourself, but also you end up places where you don't want to be. So if I just take the scissor and insert it and start cutting, then I can kind of find where the left side goes, right, versus the right side. And then I can start to see things like some of the valves. It's a little hard for me to do this in a hurry while I'm trying to make a 5-minute video. But you can see what I'm doing, right? I'm just opening up with the scissors. I'm just opening up a section, right? So that I can then start to follow that up and figure out where I am, right? Something else I'll do, I'll just go ahead and make a big cut here. This is not what you should do. Right, but let's go ahead and make a large cut to demonstrate. So when I cut it like this, right, see all this musculature here around this cavity? That's also left side. This is the right side, right? So the right side is very non-muscular, right? I mean, you can tell, I mean, right there where my finger is, right? That's not very muscular. Reason being is left side pumps to the body. It's called the systemic side. Right side pumps to the lungs. It's called the pulmonary side. So the right side doesn't need to be as muscular to pump. I mean, the heart is sitting between the lungs, right? So it doesn't need to be as muscular to pump there, right? So that's one way to get some orientation. And then you can just literally start, right? So if you just press your finger up through, you can start to find where, you know, for instance, the aorta and the vena cava and things like that might be, right? So all you really have to do, though, is just find some of these things, take some pictures. If you want to take one picture, right, and then just label the picture with all the things that are there, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to do any more than that. Certainly don't take one picture for every label. Your file size will be way too large. All right, if you have any questions about the heart dissection, of course you want to wear gloves when you do this. I don't want to turn my camera off with heart juice on them, though. But as always, if you have any questions, let me know.